Hello everybody, and welcome to today's review, where today I'm reviewing the Transformers Cybertron Earthrise Wheeljack Deluxe Class. Alright, so before we begin, there was something interesting about the box of these Earthrise figures, and that there was a piece for a map, which you can decode with this little red piece of plastic. It reveals Antilla, some planet on Cybertron, I imagine. So, and some tracks to wherever the Autobots or Decepticons are going. And that's about it. Not that important. And now, for Wheeljack himself. So Wheeljack is transformed into an Italian sports car. Or at least that's what it's based off of, because most of these sponsors are not related to real life in any shape, way, or form. And here we zoom in to some of those details to see how good they actually look. So yeah, there you have it. Those very beautiful looking details. Those on this car. None of them have scratched off, which has been pretty good. So it looks very, very nice. Wheeljack, everybody. Now we're going to zoom out because we're going to do some size comparisons. So first off, here we have him with Untitled Chapter Deluxe Class Blur. So there you have it. Blur is a little bit longer because he's a space car, but that's pretty cool. Here we have him with his leader Optimus Prime, him in truck form. So you have him. Very nice. And last but not least, here we have him with Rodimus Unicronus and a Micromaster. Yeah, the Micromaster is like, if this were like an actual vehicle in Transformers, it'd probably be like a toy vehicle. Seriously. Tanks aren't that small. Or are they? Alright. And now for the last thing we need to show off about Wheeljack. Does he roll? Does this sports car actually roll? No. It doesn't. Yes and no. Depending on what surface you put it, his wheels will roll. But normally, they wouldn't. Why? Because they're clip wheels, and the clip wheels here are just a little bit clipped too tightly. And that really sucks. Alright, now that we're done with the vehicle mode, we're going to move on to transformation. Alright, so to transform Wheeljack, where do we begin? Okay. So, first of all, we begin here in the back, just by moving these spoiler pieces like that. And they will stop moving because there's some special tab in there that stops them from moving. Next up, you go to the sides of the car and you pop these out like so. And there you have it. And then you rotate the entire back half of the car like this, and that'll reveal the head. Then you just simply lower down the shoulder parts like that. Then you rotate the bicep here and the wrist like so. 1, 2. Then you lift up the head and done. You got the top half completed, except for the chest. Now here onto the chest part. This is a little bit hard because the chest likes to stay in flush. So that means it's hard to get out once you put it in. So there you go. There's one tab out, and I just need to get out the other one. And alright, he's there, but I popped off the piece. Alright, it's back in, and yeah, you have to line up the head with the chest like that, and that's it. And then you split the legs apart, and you move that thing down, move it like this, and same like this, like that. Alright, I think we're gonna need a height boost, perhaps, or it's good right there. No, we're gonna need a height boost. Alright, just focusing on the character. There you go. Now we just simply lift up. And, alright, robot mode, showtime. Okay, focus again. Make sure, and done. Alright, so here we have Wheeljack in his robot mode. looks very, very nice. Nice. It looks a little bit dull. The white they used looks a little bit dull, but in person it looks better. You know, you see less of that ugly looking white that you see on camera. Alright. So, for his articulation, he's got a ball drain on his head. So he can rotate 360, so every time something explodes, that happens. He can also move his shoulders out like that, and even more out like a part of Prime's figure. You're like that. He's also got rotation of the arm, full 360 degrees, forward and back. He also has a bicep swivel, but it's limited because of the way the thing transforms. It's also got a bicep or bend at the elbow like this. He's also got a wrist rotation, which is full 360. He's also got a waist rotation, which you can do a full 360, but it's a little bit tight. And he can also move his leg all the way forward and all the way back, and he can even move these feet down, and he's doing a split. Athletic Wheeljack, everybody. And he also has a thigh swivel, well, that can go full 360. He's also got a knee bend, which is pretty good, and he's also got an ankle tilt, which you have to disengage to move it all the way like that. And he's also got a little bit of forward and 100% all the way back. So overall, he's got really good articulation for a deluxe class figure. It's very, very impressive to what he can do. He's quite the athletic person. But you might be asking, where is this weapon, this missile launcher? Well, here we have it, and it's very tiny. But there you go, the missile launcher, there it is. But it kind of reminds me of one of Wheeljack's inventions in G1 that looked kind of like a lunchbox to hypnotize the Decepticons or something, I don't remember. And you can also plug it into his hand, but it looks just weird. Or anywhere where there is a 5mm port. So, talking about 5mm ports and weapons, we're going to give him some Ironworks armor. Alright, so here we go. 1 boot. And 2 boots. A long sword. And a shield. I said a shield. Okay, there we go. Oh, so there you have Wheeljack armed up with Ironworks accessories, because he's got a bunch of 5mm ports all around his body. And even these are 5mm ports, which are awesome. So yeah, he's got loads of ports where he can put accessories and stuff, and he can go nuts with weaponizers, fossilizers, or modulators, whatever you want to call them. It's pretty cool. Now, onto size comparisons. Alright. So, let's go with the smallest first. Flak. Micromaster Flak. There you have him. Next up we have Turn Blur, Deluxe Class. He's a little bit taller because it's another Deluxe Class figure. But there you have it. Then we have him with Optimus Prime from the War for Cybertron Siege line. Pretty cool. And last but not least, we have him with Predator Prime's Rodimus Unicronus. Which is pretty huge for leader class standards nowadays. But still, it's a pretty awesome figure. And if you're curious, here he is next to a combiner. But the combiner ain't that stable. And that's about it for Wheeljack and all of its cool features. So, what's the final verdict? What are the pros and cons of this thing? Well, so the pros is that it's got lots of painted details, looks really nice, has a lot of articulation, and also has lots of things you can do with him, you know, with the weaponizer gimmick and that stuff. If you have any weaponizers, you can do a lot with this guy. You can also plug in any blast effects, like here, and there. You know, so Wheeljack is a very, very, very versatile figure. He can do a little bit of everything, and he's really awesome. I also really like how they did the head. And just in general, the whole figure is very, very beautiful. Looks exactly like what it's supposed to look like. And there's almost no flaw with this. I think the only flaw I would see with this figure is that it does not roll, and sometimes some parts do not stay like fully flush. Like here in the arms, you know, like this is flush when you transform it, but then like here, you know, it doesn't stay because of some flash plastic or something else completely different. I don't know, but the figure is not ruined. The figure's pretty good. Overall, I would give it the same score as the Combiner, but to be honest, it's super articulation and the things it can do. Give this guy a 9 out of 10. Oh wait, I'm gonna get this video out before I get out the Combiner's review. So yes, this figure gets a 9 out of 10. I really recommend it if you're a fan of G1 or if you just like Wheeljack the character. It's a really good figure. So overall, that's all I have to say. Thank you for watching. And if you like this video, please leave a like. And if you want to see more, please subscribe. Alright everybody, that's all I have to say. I hope to see you next time. Bye. Say bye, Wheeljack. Bye everybody.